You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow Stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Season 2, episode 54. Hi, Jude.
Hey, welcome to season 2, everyone. This is so very exciting.
Very exciting. We're in a very packed week this week, which also includes the fall equinox, but we're looking at episode 54. It's going to cover Sunday, September 18th through Saturday, September 24th. Let's get started. Where should we start?
Yeah, we can start on Sunday, the 18th, because that's one of the hottest days of the week. There's a grand square that is happening in the sky, which can signify a lot of challenge, ultimately growth. But while it's going on, it can be really uncomfortable. Okay. So the moon's in Cancer, early degrees of Cancer, and then it makes a square to Jupiter in Aries. And then the moon also makes a square to Mercury in early Libra. Now, Mercury is retrograde, and that figures into what happens later in the week. That's why I want to mention Mercury's in Libra in the first of the week, but then backs up into Virgo at the end of the week. So that's also something that kind of folds into this cake of this week. And then the moon will square Pholus in Capricorn. And Pholus was a centaur. So he's half horse, half person. The upper part is a person, the bottom part is a horse. And he was in charge of the holy wine of the centaurs. And he was one of the more reasonable centaurs. A lot of them were like, they're like the Hells Angels of the zodiac.
Right.
So there's an occasion. This is just a little bit of background on Pholus.
Yes.
There's some occasion, and Pholus, for some reason, I think because Hercules was at this party, Pholus opens up the cask of the holy, where the holy wine is kept, and opens up the cork and starts decanting the wine. Well, that's great, except the rest of the centaurs just go crazy when they get drunk. So there's a brawl. Yeah,
chaotic brawl.
And people or centaurs, I should say, end up getting killed. Pholus feels so, just can't forgive himself. And it's like the short story of the myth. There's like lots of, other pieces. But anyway, so Pholus was in charge of keeping something under wraps that he didn't keep under wraps. He opened up. Yep. He had good intentions, Yeah. But the consequences of those intentions. So the centaurs are change agents. Yep. When they're in an aspect, you've got to pay attention because they are often the point of what starts the cascade, what starts the situation.
Like a turning point.
It's exactly right. So Pholus in this square with the tender moon in Cancer is saying, Pholus is opposite Cancer. So you may, for all the right reasons, want to do something or want to be compassionate, caring, whatever, taking care of something for all the right reasons. But when you do that, it starts a series of events that leads to other things where maybe there's information, Mercury in Libra, that shouldn't have been released, but now you're trying to put a positive spin on it. And maybe the whole situation is kind of amped up because Jupiter's in Aries and it relates back to the self. Yeah. The other piece of this that's going on later in the day is that the sun will trine Pluto. Okay. So this is power. Even a trine to Pluto signifies the flow of power. Something's given, something's taken away, something's repressed, something's suppressed, something's opened up. Yep. So there's a sense here on Sunday the 18th and maybe building up the day or two before. So it could be Saturday the 17th as well as Friday the 16th, that there's this build up to something. Yeah. Some issue of power. And I think it's really amazing that you drew the card.
I drew the horse card. I was looking at my medicine card deck and the horse came out. And one of the messages of the horse is balance, like seeking balance, looking at the whole picture and being sure to kind of pay attention that there is balance in your decisions, in your moving forward, in your planning, that you're taking in the whole picture.
And that would be the perfect remedy for this square, to keep your sense of balance.
Okay.
So that you're not weighing out too much in either of the corners of the square. Yeah. So that's just kind of puts a major kind of vibe on the week.
Yeah.
on Monday, the 19th, the moon is in Cancer still. It's great. It loves being in Cancer. It's all like homey. It wants to cuddle and just squeeze and hug everything and, make good food and,
feel good. It wants to feel good.
Have a good time. And especially with friends and family, that's even more of a great thing.
Okay.
So the moon in Cancer sextiles Venus and sextiles Uranus. So this is on Monday. So it's kind of like, like the moon is like moved into these sextiles where it wants to feel better. Like it wants to have laughter, joy, be spontaneous, explore new possibilities. The moon sextile Uranus, you can expect the unexpected.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's happening on Monday. And then Tuesday, the moon trines Uranus. So that's even better, right?
That's
right.
The
moon is the fastest moving body.
Yeah.
So it can do that. It can make a sextile one day and then make a trine the next. So on Tuesday, on the 20th, it makes an exact trine to Uranus. So that's early in the day, 1 a.m., but that will carry through Tuesday, the 20th, an exciting kind of optimism, maybe, or some kind of project is illuminated, some kind of creative project. But there's also a real sense of unpredictability that you can't quite pin things down. And Uranus is in Taurus, and that's been Uranus's role in Taurus, is shaking things up. There are things are not, you can't put a pin in them.
Right.
And Venus is in
Virgo.
Yes, Venus is in Virgo. Yeah, that's an earth sign. So there might be occasions that come up or material you might be able to get news about a loan or a gift of some kind. Venus is often related to our money, our pleasure, material pleasures.
Right.
So there might be some kind of offer that's presented. And this could happen Monday or Tuesday, just a little bit of leeway there. Venus trine Uranus will last until Wednesday, but it will be on the waning side. So look for opportunity Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some kind of unexpected gift that comes to light. Also, it's a really good time not to push.
Yes.
Just let the flow happen. Take the phone call. You don't know who's on the other end of it.
Right.
It could be a lucky thing.
Right.
That's Venus trine Uranus.
I don't know. Is this like a roller coaster week?
It could be. It has that potential with that grand square.
Yeah.
And then also the culmination of the season.
Right.
So we're at the very last degrees of Virgo.
Yeah. Ready for the fall equinox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that can also feel like things are culminating.
Yeah. Okay.
But Venus trine Uranus is like a kind of a feel-good aspect. But then you've got this big grand square at the beginning of the week. So it could be a kind of yo-yo week, especially with the moon in Cancer, which is it's very moody. You know, Cancer is very, fluctuating like the tides,
Right.
High tide, you feel good. Low tide, you don't feel so good. I mean, these are just kind of, you can kind of pace these things with, if you have a friend or you notice that, that you have these fluctuations with the moon. And especially if you have the moon in a water sign, and especially if you have the moon in Cancer. Yep. So it's very, very touch and go. So you've got that kind of flow going on. And then this big kind of Venus to Uranus is big. Yeah. It's this big flow, this big trine. So I would expect something majorly good to happen with that kind of aspect. Yeah. Especially, Venus in Virgo has been working. Venus in Virgo is not luxuriating and on her couch like Venus in Leo. Yeah. She's out there and she's really been organizing and advocating and agitating and wants this thing, whatever it is she's doing, to move forward. Yep. Venus in Virgo. And so when she meets up with Uranus, it could be something surprising that comes from a lot of effort that was put in through the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. I guess it's just all about taking it in stride and not like we started out when we were talking about the horse, that balance, like keeping it in balance. And that I think is part of how we try to navigate the big ebbs and flows.
And then we come upon this is going to, the last part of the week, the equinox.
Yes.
And we could do a whole show.
Absolutely.
The podcast could be devoted. So stay tuned, loyal listeners. So Libra, balance.
Yes.
The equinox, balance, right?
This is a sun sign shift. We're going from Virgo into Libra. And this is happening on Thursday, the 22nd,
Yes.
9:03 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes, that's right.
So the shift corresponds with the sign shift, with the sun shift.
Yes, Virgo marks the end of summer.
Yeah.
And Libra marks the beginning of fall. So we actually we've reached a certain point in space.
Yeah.
Where we're now, the days are a different length.
Yeah.
The quality of the light is different.
Yeah.
We have crossed the equator.
Yeah.
The equinox sun is over the Earth's equator.
Yeah.
So we're aligned nicely with the sun. So there's this balance.
Yep.
The sun is hitting the Earth right at the equator.
Yep.
And then what happens? We start moving in the northern hemisphere. You can see that the sun will start moving north.
We've got 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices in a calendarish year. And these are the big shifts.
This is a huge shift, yeah. So at the time of this shift, we've got, and I'm just going to mention this briefly, we've got the Leo moon opposing Saturn, and we've got the Leo moon square Uranus, sextile Mars. So you've got this setup again where that Uranus-Saturn, Saturn-Uranus square is activated by the Leo moon, that's sextile Mars. So this expression, getting it out there, control versus individualism, or individual self-expression versus societal norms.
Yes.
That's a huge piece we can talk about for the Libra Equinox show. The rest of the week, the sun, again, there's another shift. The sun conjuncts Mercury, and then retrograde Mercury in Libra enters Virgo.
It's going back to Virgo.
Yes.
Yep.
So the Friday the 23rd is another shift of sign for Mercury from being in Libra and then retrograding back into Virgo. So there's a lot of, I would think, with this kind of setup, a lot of power. There's a lot of power dynamics. There's a possibility for some good luck.
Yeah.
Some kind of good luck to happen on the 19th and 20th. But then there's also, keeping everything in balance, checking to make sure that we don't go too far out of bounds. Yeah. Things could have a tendency to expand this week for no reason.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, Venus opposes Neptune.
Yeah.
We've got Venus in Virgo, late Virgo, 24 degrees Virgo, opposing Neptune at 24 degrees Pisces.
Yeah.
It's nebulous,
Yes.
There might be opportunities, but you want to avoid making decisions right now because you're really impressionable. Things aren't quite what they seem.
That seems like the lead up of the week. Like, here's a bunch of stuff. How are you going to respond to it? What do you need to put in balance? Yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest week to just then at the end of it go, I'm going to make a huge life change.
Right.
It really sounds like the week to just keep in perspective, check all the directions, get in alignment.
You've got to be in your heart. Venus, Trine, Uranus in your heart, rolling with the flow of things.
Rolling with these flows, and that's those trines and sextiles, rolling with the flow. Thank you for that forecast.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I was a shocker for me to see Pholus at the fourth corner of that grand square. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I mean, again, if we know what's coming, if we know what to look for, and we can moderate and just know that if we open up the wine, guests might start pouring in. So just be me.
It could be a drunken brawl. And it may not end well. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, you've got to just be conscious of what you share.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the moon is in Cancer. It's very touchy-feely. It wants to be kind of cuddled. And then you've got, you could open yourself, or things could be open for you that you really don't want to be.
Right.
It's not where you intended to go.
Very good. Very good. Moderation is the key. Okay. Yeah. Well, listeners, thank you so much. This This was episode 54. Don't forget, you can send us an email at connect@sisterstargazers.com if you've got questions. And Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern time, you can tune in on WMPG.org. Listen live anywhere from wherever you are. If you get internet on 7 p.m., you can call in the station. That's our live weekly astrology call-in show.
Yes, we take calls from everywhere.
Thanks again, Jude.
Thank you, Sarah.
We'll see everybody next week.
All right, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.